What's up everybody, I'm James from Hidden Legend Gaming and welcome to my latest bite-sized review. Today I'll be reviewing Towerfall, an archery combat arena game developed by Matt Thorson and originally released for the Ouya microconsole. But I'll be reviewing the PlayStation 4 version, which was released earlier this year. So, without further ado, here's my review. This game is amazing. I haven't experienced this level of endorphin-releasing competitive multiplayer fun since Super Smash Bros., and Titanfall hits all the right buttons of emulating a Smash Bros.-like experience while still being unique in its delivery and having its own identity. The controls and gameplay make it very easy to pick up and play, and allow it to be accessible for all different types of gamers, but there are enough strategic elements that mastering the techniques is also possible if you keep at it. Allow me to explain. Aside from the 2D directional movement, there are only a few buttons that actually do anything. You press X to jump, square to fire your arrows, and R2 to perform a dodge maneuver, similar to air dodging in Super Smash Bros., which can be used to steal an arrow that is being shot at you if you time it correctly. Having such a simple control scheme is really nice as, like I said, it allows for easy accessibility for hardcore and casual gamers alike. In Towerfall, you're placed into a square arena with platforms, treasure chests to give you items, and up to 3 other players to fight against, or 4 in total. I should also mention that this game is local multiplayer only, but I will come back to that in a minute. Your goal, unsurprisingly, is to kill your friends as many times as you can, and try to reach the kill count required to win each match. The game is separated into rounds, and each round, if you die, you're dead until there is 1 person left standing. When that happens, the round is over, and the kills are awarded to the player who got them, and then the next round starts. This continues until the match is over. The gameplay and the social environment that it creates is something to behold. Landing a cross-arena shot on your friend or stealing their arrow as they're trying to get their winning kill creates a rush of excitement and frustration with your friends, but you'll be having so much fun that even if you're losing, you won't care. The game is just extremely satisfying to play. Even though anyone can pick it up and play it, it still takes some twitch-based skill to get really good. Pinning your enemies with an arrow, unexpectedly jumping on their head from above, and dodging an oncoming arrow all feel very satisfying to execute, because you know you outsmarted your opponent, and it is these moment-to-moment rushes of emotion that keep the gameplay of Towerfall so exhilarating to experience. I'm not joking when I say I feel like I've had a full-body workout when I'm done playing, and I always feel very happy. The fact that the arenas are so tiny, and that when you leave the arena at any side of the square you come out on the opposite side, make the game that much more exciting. Another neat thing is that the game requires no mastery of different characters, as each character has the exact same control and attributes. At the end of the day, you're not spending time figuring out how to use certain characters with move lists and special attacks. Though, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this kind of fighting game, but the game sticks to its simplistic nature by just letting you pick your favorite character color and using your skill to master 3 simple moves: jump, shoot, and dodge. Another nice thing about this game is that it's very forgiving for those who are just starting out playing it, especially if they're playing against someone who is really good. If there is someone, or more than one person, who is way behind the leader on kills, they're granted a shield at the beginning of each round, which grants them 1 extra hit. Though I didn't really like this idea at first, I came around to it because I realized it allowed the other players a chance to figure the game out and get good at it as well. And if the player without the shield used enough strategy, they'd be able to defeat some of the shielded opponents anyway. And when the players that have fallen behind catch up to the leader, they stop getting the shields at the beginning of the rounds, so their handicap doesn't overstay its welcome and make it unfair for the other players. It's a nice way to give beginners a fighting chance against the experts, and allows them to get better at the game, which results in more entertaining matches. The visuals and music within the game are pretty standard fare in terms of the retro stylistic approach. They're nothing we haven't seen before, but they're certainly not bad at all. The different arenas change up the visuals enough to keep things semi-interesting, and the music pretty much nails the medieval aesthetic the game is going for. There's not much else to say here. It's all pretty good. Now I know what you're probably thinking. I've only talked about the multiplayer portion of this game and haven't even touched upon the single player yet. Well, there's a reason for that. The bulk of your experience with this game will be played multiplayer. There are trials and a single-player arcade mode where you take out waves of enemies on each stage, but I've never been compelled to play much by myself. Not that it isn't fun, because it is. It's just nowhere near as enjoyable as the multiplayer versus mode, which is the game's bread and butter. The arcade mode can also be played with a friend, which is typically how I enjoy this mode. Still, it pales in comparison to the excitement of the free-for-all matches due to its somewhat predictable enemies and repetition. That being said, one glaring omission for this game is the ability to play the game online. I know that this would be a difficult endeavor for a developer that seems to consist of one guy, but with the multiplayer portion of the game being so crucial to the fun factor, it seems like a pretty big miss. I mean, I probably wouldn't have played it online since I'm more of a local multiplayer kind of guy. I'm just looking out for the folks who have no friends, you know? Towerfall is an amazing multiplayer experience, and it single-handedly turned my PS4 into my party console of choice. Gathering together with friends and some beers, we often get sucked into the experience for hours on end without getting tired of playing it at all. If you're a fan of exhilarating multiplayer games, own a PS4, and know at least 3 friends who like to game, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't pick this up. I give Towerfall a 9.5 out of 10.